Hello and welcome everybody. Yes, I have live breaking news special. In a couple seconds, I'll be joined by David Kelley. He's president and CEO of Chakana Copper Corp, and we're going to talk about their third discovery in the current drill program at the Huancarama Breccia complex. But before we get started, make sure to follow us on Twitter, on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button, and make sure to give us a comment. What do you think of the discovery? What do you think of Chakana Copper? Do you like the company? What don't you like? Let us know. We'll get back to you. We really want to hear from you as well. Also, I want to note real quick, we're hosting our monthly mini conference series, and we're already at session 5. It's happening tomorrow, Wednesday, and we're starting at 6 a.m. PST, which is not very friendly to me, but I'll have to deal with it. But I'm really excited to have 10 exciting companies present Discovery Metals, Equinox, Atico, Roscan Gold, and we'll have 2 fantastic keynote speakers. Florian Siegfried, a fund manager out of Switzerland, and Brent Cook will be sort of framing the event, and we're excited to have them on. And please make sure to subscribe or sign up for the event at soarfinancial.com/events. Now, let me switch over to Mr. David Kelley. David, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Kai. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, it's fantastic to have you back, and it always means you have news flow. And I've had you on quite often the last few weeks, and also before Christmas. So I asked you, before we came live, so David, okay, more results. Okay, what do they mean? How excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10? What was your answer?
I think I said 10, Kai, because we're very, very excited about these results. We've been wanting to get to this point for a long time. We had a long delay in getting access to drilling at Huancarama. It's a huge breccia system. We knew that from the start, just from, surface mapping and sampling. It's got a footprint of about 200 meters wide. The first 8 holes are just exploring on the eastern half of the breccia complex, and already with just those 8 holes and the underground adit, the historic adit that we've been able to get into and map and sample, we've been able to put together a very large breccia system. It's got dimensions of about 100 meters by 50 meters. I've always said that Huancarama potentially could be a company maker in and of itself, just given its scale. And certainly we're off to a great start with the first 8 drill holes published today.
Fantastic. Run us through the headline numbers. We always forget to mention the intervals themselves, and what do they mean? What's the mineral distribution? Run us through that real quick.
Well, the headline number, 126 meters, 0.3 gold, 0.5 copper, and some silver in there. I think the equivalent numbers are about 1% copper equivalent, or 1.5 grams per ton gold. Continuous mineralization connecting breccia 2 at Huancarama to breccia 1 at Huancarama. We call it H1 and H2. Continuous mineralization all the way between those two, and that was those last 2 holes were the really exciting results that connected the two and showed us that we do have a very, very large footprint, not just confirmed in surface exposure, but confirmed in drilling with some really excellent grades. Within that headline grade, there's 34 meters of high grade in hole 60. I think about 1.4% copper and 0.6 grams gold and quite a bit of silver. So it's great to see this high grade, because we know we can follow up that high grade. It comes from depth. It's controlled by porosity in the breccia, and so we can go after that in addition to expanding the breccia as we move to the west.
Yeah, as you said, it comes from depth. How deep have you actually drilled? How far have you chased it down?
At this point, we're probably only about 200 meters, 180 meters deep, but we will chase that deeper. And it's important to note that the Paloma system, we already announced the 2 discoveries at Paloma East and Paloma West. That's just 300 meters off to the north, and the deepest extent of breccia you're going up the hill as you go to the north. The deepest breccia that we drilled at Paloma, which is about 650 meters and down hole, that depth is about 400 meters below where we're at Huancarama at the surface. So if you just assume that you've got a similar vertical extent to the mineralization in the breccia, then we've got 400 meters to work with just to start with. So yeah, we're really excited about the results. Dimensions have been so far are excellent.
Fantastic. And since you're comparing the various breccia pipes that you've previously discovered, how does Huancarama now stack up versus, let's say, Paloma East and West, and also the other breccia pipes, also in terms of mineralogy and potential metallurgy?
Yeah, the mineralogy is very similar. It's the same, mineralogy that we're seeing in the other breccia pipes. Chalcopyrite is our dominant copper mineral. There's pyrite in there. We know that the pyrite is often pyrite gold bearing, as we've seen, and our petrology has shown us that the gold that's in the pyrite is visible gold. You can actually see it. So in terms of the dimensions of the kind of the real exciting thing about Paloma and Huancarama is the fact that we're getting these large expanses of mineralized breccia at and near surface. And, so for the first time, we're really starting to look at this project and saying, here's some potential bulk mineable mineralization, the kind of stuff that could be mined by open pit. And, that combined with the underground potential, it just brings additional optionality to the project. And that's been one of the things from the very beginning that we've loved and the mining engineers have loved about a project like this is the optionality. The fact that you can produce from multiple breccia pipes, you can control your production by going multiple zones within a breccia pipe, multiple breccia pipes, potentially open pit mining added to that now too. So it's great to have these kind of options in mining.
Oh, so open pit mining, and I've looked at the photo on the website. You have the breccia pipes, obviously, and you have the
Mm.
mineralization. Like, is there a halo effect or so around the breccia pipes, or is it barren afterwards?
Well, normally it's barren. I mean, normally we go into a very sharp halo contact zone. There's a little bit of sheeted veining and intense alteration right around the halo, and then you go out into what we call the green rock. It's the propylitically altered wall rock. But the expanse of breccia, if it's breccia, then potentially it's mineralized, and we're seeing some very large, expanse of breccia at Huancarama, for example. Already we've seen a body that has dimensions of about 100 meters by 50 meters, and it's still open in many directions, and we haven't even touched the western half of the complex yet. So that kind of footprint is really
Yeah.
exciting.
No, it's like my head already went one step further when you said open pit mining. I was like, okay, can we connect Paloma East and West and with Huancarama? And if you drill in between, because you said they're fairly close
Mhm.
together, if there's anything in between, or do you have to have two satellite pits? And I'm thinking way too far in the future, but
Well, you're not really. I mean, we were just on a go-to meeting yesterday, looking at targets in between Huancarama and Paloma, and we have several targets in between Huancarama and Paloma. So absolutely, we when we did our targeting, 2 years ago with all the data sets that we had at the time, and we've added data sets since then. We came up with 92 targets on the property and the entire property. We've got 23 confirmed breccia pipes. We've drilled 10 of those now. 7 of those stack up really nicely with really excellent grades, good dimensions, good depths. One of the other three, we just have 2 holes in. We need to go back to. We know it's mineralized. We just didn't have a good setup for drill testing at that. So that my guess is that would be 8 out of 10 if we assume based on what we've already learned on the other pipes. But the hit rate is really high. I mentioned in the news release that 20 of the, or what was it, 26 of the 28 original holes released so far at Paloma and Huancarama have reportable intercepts, so that's just a really good hit rate to have on a project like this.
great. Let's get back to Huancarama for another second here. Like, where's the drill sitting right now, and how many holes are you still poking into it?
Yeah, we're still on the eastern half. We've got a couple of more holes to complete. We've completed hole 15 now, and we're drilling at hole 16. We're trying to fill in the gap. If you look at the cross section in the news release, there's an open zone that's at the top of the breccia. It sits beneath that collapse zone, and we're just trying to fill that in because we're pretty certain that's going to provide some near surface mineralization, and it's always good to know that's where you want to start, right? If you got surface mineralization, that's a great thing to have. So we're working on that part now, and then we'll move over to the western half, and we need to get some scout holes across that western zone and see what we have out there, and see if it expands the breccia on the east side to the west, or if it's a separate breccia system, or just what we might find out there.
Gotcha. Does the collapse zone contain anything? I saw the photo. It looks really like it just collapsed. Is it barren, or is there anything in it? Because it's also that white speckle in the middle. It's that U-shaped area in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah, no, there's lots of mineralization at surface there, and we haven't figured out if this is a mining collapse or if it's a natural feature. It's possible it's either of those. We really need to do more work on it, but it definitely is related to mineralization. If you look at the plan map and you see where hole 160 comes across there, our best grade in the releases, the release today, sit right beneath that collapse zone. So it's obviously an important feature, and that's something we're going to keep working on with our drilling.
Great. So we were waiting for, what is it now? 8 holes released. 14 were drilled originally, 15 completed now. So we're
Yeah.
waiting for 6 more holes. I'm giving the seventh one a little more time. So
Yeah.
when do you expect those to come out?
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned in our last show that our average turnaround time is 15 days with ALS and Lima. They've just done a great job. The turnaround time has increased in December, and but they came through in early January. They worked right through they didn't take a break like our team did. So they've done a great job in trying to get caught up and stuff like that. So I think every couple of weeks you should expect to see some results. We're going to keep the drill rig turning, and we've got some great targets to test, and we're really really excited about these results. They couldn't be more important for us at this time to have three discoveries in a row since we started drilling in August, and again confirming this large footprint of a breccia system at Huancarama is really important for the project.
Yeah, phenomenal. And really appreciate you taking the time this morning, running us through those results. And can't wait to have you back on within the next 10 days, I'm assuming. So I'm definitely going to see you again. And really appreciate you
Right.
joining us this morning.
Absolutely, Kai. Thank you, Sue. Thanks for having us back on. We love to be here. Yeah.
Fantastic. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your interest in Chakana Copper and our interview here with David. Really appreciate you tuning in. Leave a like, leave a comment, and also make sure to follow us, obviously. Hit the like and subscribe and the alert button here on Twitter. That way you get notified when we go live again with another interview. That's it from our end. We'll be back soon, and stay tuned.